lot of studies that show that women are happy in direct relationship to whether or not they have flexibility in their lives. That's another thing to take a look at your work and how to get some kind of situation where somebody covers for you some of the time, or in some way you have an ability to set your own schedule. It was interesting in study, a really good study done, that women rank flexibility and autonomy in a job far more than salary. Men did not. Men were much more interested in the salary. If they were happier, they could be more confined if their price was a higher price that was paid, and they still were happy. But with women, they were happier at a lower salary if they had flexibility and someone gave them more control over the way they worked. Women also were much more cognizant and cared a great deal more about who they worked with. Men could be happy when they worked with guys they didn't like or they didn't like. Women, not so much. So the contents of what your day looks like, where you could be evaluated on what you produce as opposed to the hours you produce them in, really, particularly for women, seem to be really important. And then, of course, there's this issue of how much you bring your children into the solution of all of this. I'm not going to go into that, but it's important. And, of course, include your partner. I still find some of the most liberated women letting their partners get away with murder. I love this Nora Ephron joke that I think is so important. I can't even remember where she first published it, but I glommed onto it. And that was, she had this aha moment when she was sitting at the table, and her husband said, "Where's the butter?" She's thinking, well, where might it be? In the tool chest? In the child's bed? Down the block? Probably the refrigerator, don't you think? And it was the idea that, he could sort of like, where's the butter? I mean, I don't see that as a female question, but women would ask. So that we all know where the butter is. And so what it means is that there's a certain kind of laxity we've been doing in terms of saying, get your own butter, and know where it is. Which isn't to say people shouldn't be generous with each other, but there's a lot of extra work that's asked of women that doesn't have to be there, and is perfectly reasonable to ask another person to be responsible for. There were some interesting studies by I'm running out of time. A friend of mine, who's a colleague of mine, Julie Brines, and I just want to give you this one stat. She took a look at women who were with unemployed husbands, and the women still did more housework. And when she looked at it, these guys were home all the time. And she looked at it, and one of the things women said was, well, he doesn't have a job. I'm not going to make him do housework too. I'm not going to undermine his masculinity. We need to get housework and all of that out of the masculinity and femininity categories and just into partnership. A lot of the women you're going to talk to in the panel have figured out ways for partnership, and I think all of us have to.